somebody that's in a job that you just know this is not where you belong. Maybe their father and their father before them was an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor, and suddenly they're doing the same job, and you realize this isn't really what you love. So perhaps they are very competent, very good at it. However, the passion is lacking. And when that is missing, you can often tell, because while somebody might be good at something, they don't get fired up about it. So knowing what your values are, as opposed to the collective values of your family or your community, is very important, because that way you won't necessarily inherit your vocation, but you will actually seek it out and make sure that it's the right fit for you. My name is Caron Morgan, and I am a Personality Assessment Facilitator and a self-development consultant. I think the misconception is often that people think you can tell a person's personality by the things that they do, or even the things that they say, but your personality is really based on who you are inside and what drives you, what compels you, what excites you, what de-energizes you, what really motivates you to go out and do things. A lot of people really don't know what drives them. We know what we like, but we don't know what motivates us, what gives us that rush of adrenaline, that sense of joy that we're in the right place. Several years ago, I was working for a firm in downtown Toronto, in a high-rise building, in a wonderful company that allowed me to meet interesting people. I met Kennedys, I met premiers, I met just all sorts of wonderful people. But as I sat there one day next to my coworker, who actually happened to be my best friend, I looked at her and I said, I'm living some other lady's life. Someone else would be sitting in this chair in this moment, absolutely loving and feeling fulfilled that this is where life had brought them. But for me, it wasn't doing it. There were things that I needed to feel fulfilled and really to feel proud of myself that I wasn't experiencing. I wanted to be able to move freely and to explore different things and to talk to people and to touch people in a personal way that my job really didn't allow for. But I realized, what if I had the courage to just leave it completely and go where my heart and where my passion really lied? When you really discover who you are and what your personality and what your temperament consists of, you're in a position to go out there and say, I'm going to get that. I'm going to work in an environment or surround myself with people that can allow me to be that way. So if you are somebody that likes systems and policies and procedures, maybe you don't want to work in an environment where the key phrase is, let's wing it. Or if you're somebody that really likes the variety that comes from being able to make things up as you go along, maybe you don't want to work in an environment where they say, we're going to be researching this thing to death. And then at the end of the research, we'll do some more research. That will demotivate you. So the key to finding out who you are means that you have an opportunity to be who you are. So what we're really trying to find out is, what is your personal driver? Your driver is that thing that gets you up in the morning and says, I'm going to do this. You jump out of bed as opposed to roll out of bed, because something inside of you is propelling you. Something is driving you. And when you get that, when you get to that place, you have that feeling of, this is amazing. This is what it's all about. So our drivers lead to our fulfillment. Without them, it's a different life. And really, it isn't that hard to figure out what your drivers are. You probably know them already, but you may not have identified them. And just a word to the wise, sometimes things that we think are quirks about us, for example, we're highly efficient and we make lots and lots of lists, and we think, maybe I need to not be that way. There's a reason that you're like that. And there's an opportunity or a job or a situation that requires someone just like you. In upcoming videos, we'll be exploring topics like introversion and extroversion and how they affect our personalities. Goals such as money, wealth, family, how our personalities are affected by those things. And children, how do we encourage our children to become the greatest version of themselves that they were made to be? Not our version of themselves, but their best version of themselves.